28 million Americans are under heat alerts as extreme temperatures continue to hit large portions of the country from the Southwest all the way to Miami.
And get ready, this week those extreme temperatures are expected to expand beyond those regions. Forecasters say the heat wave will soon cover much of the U.S. Cities like Miami have been dealing with the dangerous heat for more than a month now. Today is the 44th consecutive day the city has seen a heat index above 100 degrees. And that sweltering streak will continue through this week.
I don't remember the summers ever being this bad. This has been awful. These weeks have been rough to get through. Yeah.
The West is also baking. Phoenix is in the middle of its own hot streak, with folks there dealing with 25 days straight of temperatures over 110 degrees. So far, the Midwest and Northeast have avoided the extreme heat wave, but forecasters say that ends this week. The oppressive heat is expected to expand into those regions in the coming days. And it's not just here in the U.S. The extreme heat is also being felt overseas in China and in southern Europe, with dangerous temperatures recorded in countries like Italy and Greece. We've got team coverage on the extreme heat all morning. We begin with NBC News correspondent Marissa Parra. She joins us now from Miami. So, Marissa, as we said, day 44 with the heat index above 100 degrees where you are. Describe for us what the heat feels like this morning, what it's felt like over the last few days there.
Hey, yes, two very different answers there. Remember, it is about 7 in the morning here, so the sun is just barely starting to rise. It actually feels pretty nice right now because it's 7 in the morning. So it's 85 degrees right now, feels like 97. Now, that's a big jump, right? But it's going to get oppressively hot, of course, as the sun gets higher. It gets in those later afternoon hours. That's when it is just pretty much downright unbearable to be outside. And even by Miami standards, because again, this is an area that knows heat. In fact, you mentioned a lot of cities that know heat, Phoenix being one of them, Miami being another. It gets humid, it gets hot, but you just mentioned 44 consecutive days of a real feel in the triple-digit temps, add in humidity. It gets pretty difficult to be outside for much longer than you have to, really, even for people who live here. We talked to a number of them, and they said, yeah. Again, even for the people that are used to heat, this is a lot.
Yeah, and if Miami's complaining, then you know it's something. I mean, emergency responders, right, they're seeing an increase in heat calls all over the country. That includes where you are in Miami. They also have to wrestle with the heat, especially with all the gear they have to wear. So what precautions are they taking?
Yeah, one of them being they're actually doubling up their units, that is personnel when they arrive on the scene for emergencies. We actually had a chance to speak with the chief fire officer for Miami-Dade County. Listen for yourself.
We're just trying to take extra precautions, trying to take more breaks, definitely hydrate a lot more. On emergency scenes, calls that might have taken, 5 or 6 units, we're pretty much doubling personnel to rotate crews in and out much quicker, giving them short amount of time of work and more rest in between.
So the reason for that being twofold. I mean, not only is it just the fact that these are humans too, and they're having to wear all that heavy gear when they're doing something like fighting a fire, or just bare minimum going to a heat call, checking up on someone. Because it is so hot, they're having to be exposed to the heat in a way that's even different than the way we are, because they have to do it often, and they also have to wear equipment while they're doing it. But then on top of that, something that is just a running theme here, because we've been talking about this heat for weeks straight. It's just the consecutive nature of this. I mean, we've talked about this across different cities that we've been reporting on heat from, and it again is the consecutive nature, the marathon, if you will, that has them taking extra precautions to make sure that they can finish cross the finishing line whenever that finish line makes itself known, Joe, because this seems to be going on endlessly.
Yeah, definitely not in sight right now. Very quickly, Marissa, while we have you, I want to ask you what's going on out west in Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, two different types of heat, but heat is heat. It's a drier heat out there, but I will say it was very difficult to be outside for more than a few minutes. I mean, that is a very dangerous situation because you have asphalt heating up to 160, sometimes 180 degrees, people getting third-degree burns just from touching the asphalt for a few seconds, Joe. So very different types of heat, but dangerous nonetheless.
All right, Marissa Parra in Miami. Marissa, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.